Ever wondered why some people seem to have it all figured out while others struggle? Well, the secret often lies not in what they do, but what they don't do. You see, the journey to self-improvement is less about adding more to your life and more about subtracting the negative elements that hold you back. In this grand odyssey of life, we often carry excess baggage that weighs us down. These are seemingly trivial things, like a negative mindset or unhealthy habits, but they can have a profound impact on our overall quality of life. By eliminating these, we can clear a path towards our true potential. Today, we'll explore 10 such elements that, if quickly eliminated from your life, can lead to a dramatic transformation. This isn't about reinventing yourself overnight, it's about taking small, consistent steps towards a better you. So buckle up, grab your metaphorical broom, and prepare to do some life sweeping. Let's dive into the 10 things you should quickly eliminate from your life. First on the list is negative self-talk. Picture this. You've got an invisible critic sitting on your shoulder and they're not very kind. That's negative self-talk, an internal dialogue that can be as damaging as any external adversary. It's like having an echo chamber of doubt inside your head, amplifying every uncertainty, every mistake. It's a dream crusher, a potential limiter. But how to combat this? Start by recognizing it. Catch yourself in the act. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," ask yourself, "How can I do this?" Replace the negatives with positives. Practice self-compassion. It's okay to make mistakes, to not know everything. It's okay to be a work in progress. And remember, it's not about silencing the critic, it's about changing the conversation. Transform that critic into a cheerleader. Encourage growth and learning instead of focusing on flaws and failures. Remember, the conversation you have with yourself is the most important one. Next up is toxic relationships. They're like silent vipers, slithering unnoticed, injecting their venom into our life's bloodstream. They can drain our energy, stifle our growth, and erode our mental and emotional health. We're talking about those relationships that make you feel like you're walking on eggshells, where criticism and negativity are more common than support and positivity. You might be thinking, but it's not always bad. True, but remember, even a broken clock is right twice a day. To deal with such relationships, awareness is the first step. Recognize the signs: constant anxiety, feeling undervalued, a sense of dread about interactions. Once you've identified them, it's time to create some distance. This doesn't mean you have to cut ties completely, but it's crucial to set boundaries to protect your well-being. Remember, your happiness and mental health are paramount. Life is too short to spend with people who suck the happiness out of you. Are you finding these insights helpful? If you're nodding your head in agreement, don't just keep it to yourself. Smash that like button to show your appreciation. Caught the self-improvement bug? Go ahead and hit subscribe so you won't miss out on any future nuggets of wisdom. And if you think this video could be the beacon of light someone in your life needs, don't hesitate to share it with them. Keep watching for more life-changing tips. Moving on to procrastination. The silent thief of time. Procrastination, my friends, is the art of keeping up with yesterday, and it's a surefire way to scuttle your productivity. It's like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill. Let's face it, we've all been there. You have a task to do, but instead you find yourself binge-watching a series or scrolling endlessly through social media. But here's the thing. Every minute you spend procrastinating is a minute you're robbing from your future self. So, how do you combat this time bandit? Well, start by breaking down your tasks into manageable chunks. The smaller the task, the less daunting it appears. Next, create a schedule and stick to it. This gives you a roadmap to follow, reducing the chance of distraction. Remember, procrastination is a choice, not a compulsion. It's about taking control of your time, rather than letting it control you. Time is non-refundable. Use it with intention. Next, we address excessive screen time. In our digital age, screens have become our ever-present companions. The constant blue light exposure strains our eyes, messes with our sleep patterns, and can even lead to long-term vision problems. And it's not just physical. Excessive screen time can also lead to mental health issues like anxiety and depression. Furthermore, it's a tremendous time sink. The hours you spend scrolling through social media or binge-watching could be used to learn a new language, read a book, or engage in any number of enriching activities. So how to combat this digital dilemma? Well, it's all about balance. Set aside designated screen-free hours each day. Use this time for physical activities, mindfulness or hobbies. Opt for a physical book instead of an e-reader before bed. Remember, technology is a tool, not a lifestyle. It's meant to facilitate our lives, not consume them. Remember, life is what happens off-screen. Up next is unhealthy eating patterns. A pattern of unhealthy eating can be a silent, slow poison. It's not just about the extra pounds you may pile on. It's about the risk of chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and even certain types of cancer. It's about the sluggishness, the lack of energy, the mood swings that come with a diet full of sugar, processed food, and unhealthy fats. But here's the good news. You can break free from this pattern. Start by understanding that food is fuel. It's what powers your body and mind. Embrace a balanced diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Hydrate well, and remember, moderation is key. Treat yourself occasionally, but make healthy choices your norm. It's a journey and it won't happen overnight. But every small step you take towards healthier eating is a victory. Remember, eat to nourish your body, not just to feed it. Now let's discuss clutter and excess possessions. You see, our surroundings often mirror our mind. A cluttered space can lead to a cluttered mind, hindering our ability to think clearly and efficiently. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You're wasting time and energy, which could be directed towards more productive tasks. So how can we tackle this? The answer is simple: decluttering. Start by discarding items you don't need. This doesn't mean you have to live like a hermit, but rather, it's about making conscious choices about what you truly need and what merely takes up space. There's a certain beauty in minimalism that allows for mental clarity and focus. Adopt a one in, one out rule. Every time you bring something new into your space, something old has to go. This ensures a balanced environment and prevents accumulation of unnecessary items. Remember, clear space equals clear mind. It's not just a phrase, it's a lifestyle. Next on the list is fear of failure. It's a daunting spectre that looms over many of us, often hindering our personal and professional growth. But fear not, my friends, for fear of failure, like any fear, is not a concrete wall, but a shadow that can be dispelled. Failure is often seen as a negative, something to be avoided at all costs. But consider this: every setback, every misstep, every so-called failure is a chance to learn, to grow, to improve. It's a stepping stone on the path to success, not a pitfall. To overcome this fear, reframe your perspective. View failure not as a sign of incompetence, but as an opportunity for growth. Embrace it. Learn from it. Let it shape you into a more resilient, more experienced individual. In the end, it's not about never failing, but about rising every time we fall. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. Next up is comparing yourself to others. This habit is a silent soul killer, my friends. It's like a hungry beast that feeds on your self-esteem, happiness, and even your dreams. But why? Well, when we compare ourselves to others, we're often comparing our behind-the-scenes to someone else's highlight reel. It's a game where there are no winners, only losers. So how do we break free from this self-destructive cycle? The answer lies within us. Instead of looking sideways, start looking inward. Focus on your personal journey, your progress, your victories, no matter how small they may seem. Make it a point to celebrate your growth, to appreciate your own unique path. Remember, every single person on this planet is a work in progress, including the ones we often compare ourselves to. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, our victories and failures. So instead of falling into the comparison trap, let's focus on becoming the best versions of ourselves. The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Finally, we address lack of boundaries. This invisible yet crucial element plays a significant role in maintaining relationships and work-life balance. Whether it's saying no to an additional task at work or declining an invitation that doesn't align with your values, setting boundaries is all about respect. Respect for your time, your energy, and most importantly, for yourself. Now, how do you establish these boundaries? It's quite simple. Start by understanding your limits. Know what drains you and what rejuvenates you. Then communicate these limits to others. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but remember it's your right to protect your mental and emotional space. Maintaining boundaries requires consistency. It's not a one-time task. You'll need to reassess and enforce them regularly. And yes, there will be times when others might not respect your boundaries. That's when you need to stand firm and remind them. Boundaries are the distance at which I can love both you and me simultaneously. So let's start setting them, shall we? So, there you have it. 10 things to quickly eliminate from your life. We've journeyed through the murky waters of negative self-talk, navigated the stormy seas of toxic relationships, and battled the fierce winds of procrastination. We've shed light on the hidden traps of excessive screen time, unhealthy eating patterns, clutter, and excess possessions. We've also tackled the formidable mountains of unproductive routines, the fear of failure, the deceptive allure of comparison, and the sneaky thief of peace, lack of boundaries. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, it's time to start implementing these changes. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to make a better choice. Each step, no matter how small, takes you closer to the life you desire. So why wait? Start now. Thanks for watching. For more enlightening content, do watch our other videos. Remember, the journey to self-improvement begins with a single step.